here at the TYR Athlete Check-In, and I am joined now by 11-time CrossFit Games qualifier, Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundsson, the notorious BKG. BK, we were just chatting before this, 11 years.
Yeah.
How does it feel just to hear that sheer number?
It's been coming slowly. I mean, after the semifinals, the questions that I've been getting have been like, how do you do it? Like, are you not getting tired? When are you going to retire? Like all of those kind of questions. But it's like, it doesn't, like, I think I told everybody this last year, but it doesn't really feel like 11. Partly probably because this is the third location of the games. It doesn't feel like I'm repeating it like every year.
Yeah.
So, I just have a good team behind me. I really like the sport. I like doing CrossFit, right? I mean, that's the success, is to like what you're doing.
Yeah. And for you, how do you maintain that passion for it? Because we do see, and this has been kind of at the forefront recently with athletes getting burnt out or taking steps aside. You've been the steady constant. What does that look like both from a support standpoint, whether it's sponsors, people that have got your back?
So basically, like, you need to have a strong team behind you. I've had the same team behind me for now 11 years, or actually 12, before I made it for my first time.
Yeah.
Yami and the training plan, my agent Snorri, my friends. I've always lived in the same location, same gym. My brother was the owner of that gym, or is the owner of the gym, and his wife. So it's kind of like, just like, I've got that stable, good background, and I feel like that might be one of the reasons why I'm still doing it. Then also, it's just like me and Yami, my coach, were very good at coming up with reasons each year on how to get better, like what to work on each year. And we kind of never lose the sight of trying to be better. And I would say that's probably the number one key.
I like that. It's very balanced, very steady. And I think that's no surprise why you've been at the top for so long. You mentioned you're one of the few athletes that has competed now or will compete at all three of the modern venues
Exactly.
for the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
Just real quick, initial, I guess, assessment on Fort Worth so far.
Yeah. Fort Worth is amazing. This is like, usually when we do the training camps, we go somewhere else. Like when it was in Madison, we would go to a small town called Fond du Lac, which is a 90-minute drive outside.
Yep.
But now we just went straight here, mostly because of the heat. We just wanted to train a little bit in the heat. This camp has also been like a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Like, they have told us that most of the events are inside. So we thought to ourselves, okay, it's going to be 1 or 2 events outside. Let's deal with it. Let's get out there like enough time before the games, but we didn't want to make it a too long of a trip.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't want to be training for too long just in the heat. You know what I mean? So I feel like we did most of the quality training at home, and then once we have kind of moved over to here, it's been more of like trying to acclimatize and get used to the time difference, and then of course that blazing heat. We don't get that back in Iceland.
Oh man, yeah, that's. I've been there. I went to the Reykjavik CrossFit Championship back in the day. A little bit different temperature for sure.
Yeah.
But we're here at TYR Check-In. Last question before you go. Starting to get all your games gear. Initial assessment on the colorway. We got a little special color back for you guys.
I like the color. I think this year it kind of fits with everything. Look at my shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the shoes, right? It fits perfectly. Last year, maybe a little bit harder to kind of navigate like what to wear compared to having the yellow shoe. But honestly, also just the CXT2, great shoe. I've been wearing it now for 2 days, just like breaking that in a little bit. It's promising. It's not going to hold me back. It's going to be me this time.
Oh, there we go. There's a good and bad behind that too, for sure. But BK, as always, thanks for joining, and best of luck, Steve.